Hey guys, it's your girl Coco Kinsey back at it again with another video, guys. So today we are going to be talking about where is happiness located. If you're not a part of the family, then you might not know, but if you are a part of the family, then you know it is Zeta Confidential Mondays. Every week we will be breaking down topics from zetamorrison.com. So be sure to go check out zetamorrison.com if you're not familiar or haven't had the opportunity to check it out. So you can check out this topic and many more and possibly be a part of the bigger ZC Nation family. As always, you don't have to be a part of that to be a part of this conversation, but definitely take a few moments to check that out at zetamorrison.com. But also, guys, make sure you are subscribed to the channel so we can be family, so we can be a part of a growing family and learn and connect with one another. Let's get into it, guys. Where is happiness located? I absolutely love this week that Zeta began with the conversation with her mom. I am a generational living family, and what that means is that we got many generations, not many, I guess we got multiple generations living in the same household. And this is not something that we always have. My parents, they still like to go home and have their space, as it has been lately. Recently while they've been staying here, my mother actually tore a ligament, unfortunately, unfortunately, in her ankle. And so they are going to be here for the next couple of months as she heals. But I'm so blessed and I'm so grateful to have her here, because not only it allows me to be able to help my parents as they're older, and also my kids to be able to, my sons to be in there and go cook with granddad, or to be able to listen to them tell stories about the family or different things, traditions, watching my sons pray with my mom at night, or when they're scared, the fact that they have beyond just their dad and I, and they can run downstairs and be comforted, and I can feel comforted and then not having to worry about them, and knowing that they're in a safe space. That's so helpful to me. And then I'm also able to give my parents, as well as my husband is able to give back to them. So for me, I love that she mentioned her mom right off the bat. That is something, if you have your parents, to be so grateful for. And even if you need to make up something that may have happened, I mean, if it's a healthy, if it could be a healthy reconciliation, definitely do it. That means that is just, it's beautiful to me. But in the bigger picture of things, it goes obviously beyond just our parents, because stuff will happen to all of us. Nobody knows the time nor the hour. We don't know. But what we do know is it's okay to be grateful for right now. It is so okay to be grateful for what you have right now. I have always been a person of the now and been grateful, but of course we are human. We want things. We are always looking towards the future. But there has been two things that have happened in my life that really just made me slow down. I mean, there have been multiple things, but two in particular. And one of those would be when my dad was diagnosed with cancer, and it got to a place where we didn't know really what was going to happen, or what. It was really scary. And it just showed me that tomorrow is not promised. And it made me reflect also, is that I get made fun of sometimes in my family, because all my family, while it seems common, everybody is not for generational living. It's like, well, why would you do that? Or that's too much. But for me, because you can only speak for yourself, I am so grateful for it, because if something were to happen to my parents, as devastating as it may be, as sad as I may be, obviously, because I'm going to miss them, or vice versa, I hope that they would feel the same way I do. The one thing you will never, ever, nobody will ever say to me is that I did not have enough time. I will never live with that regret, and that makes me so happy, and that makes me find such peace, is that I can always say, you can never say that I never did enough, or I never wondered, or what else. Like, everything that I want to do and want to say, I am so grateful that I can share that with them. Now, of course, we always want more time. It's like just a little bit more. But again, I will never, ever say I didn't have enough. And if you can have that, because I recognize that everybody can't have that, but whatever relationships that you can feel safe in, safe spaces that are uplifting you to one another, because it should be reciprocal. It should be something where your love and your respect is going and coming both ways. And so for me, that just, again, that was so eye-opening. And it said, like, regardless of whatever else is going on, I'm so happy for right now. I'm grateful for what I have. The second thing in my life that really, really was life-changing is when my husband and I decided to go in business for ourselves. When you stop being on somebody else's clock, watch, dollar, it puts stuff in perspective, child. It really, really does, because you don't know, like, and just really being behind the scenes, you become so grateful for every penny that comes, because even in the best of times, you know that it could change in an instant. And, with, I guess, a part-time recession, we've seen that. So we joke. I mean, at first, there have been some scary times, but it's been some really great times. And we had, for as much as you can get scared and you do plan, you think that, like, at the end of the day, we're all going to be okay. We are blessed, for even while my parents are staying here, my parents have a home that we can go to if we need to. His parents have a home we can go to if need be, because everybody doesn't have that. And we have had a heck of a time in the great moments. And not to say that everything's going bad now, like I'm going down a rat hole, but what I'm saying is just, again, perspective. Enjoy every moment. It has been really great, and we have been really, blessed beyond measure. We went into business while I was in a high-risk pregnancy. We planned for recession. We did all the things. I can say my husband put in so much of the work, but he did so much of the planning to really looking at things that would be recession-proof, and as recession-proof as one can be. But there was no way in the world we could plan for a pandemic and all the things that would transpire. And we have still made it out and been okay. We are all of good, or at least decent health. Our children are growing and flourishing. And even if they weren't, we're still here. It's just, again, just being so grateful for the now. We have been blessed to be able to do so many of the things that we want to do, to put our kids in so many of the things that we want to expose them to. And just enjoying that for what it is, even if it was all taken away today. You can't take away what I was able to gain from the experiences, what my children were able to gain. And you take it, you learn from it, and you just keep going. And you continue to look around and be grateful for the things that you're going to be grateful. Doesn't mean that you never, because I think a lot of times the confusion comes when we talk about being happy, or being happy and now being grateful. It does not mean that you don't recognize and sit in those emotions. I am a firm believer, if you are feeling down, because y'all know I have been very open about my struggles with depression, anxiety. Sometimes it is healthy to sit in it, and sometimes it's uncontrollable, and there is nothing you can do about it. Sometimes you need to sit in it. There are times where you will need to keep pushing right along and push through it, because it can be overwhelming and it can drown and sink you, and we definitely don't want that. But sit in it if you need to, but also move forward if you need to, and then put it in perspective. If you have the ability to put it in perspective and to know that you have people to reach out to, if you have breath in your lungs, that means there's another chance, because there are so many people. I know we can look around, and especially in this time of social media where we see so much, and there's so much comparison going on to this person, what that person has. And sometimes we, as humans, we've always kind of felt the need to keep up with the next person. But now with this constant accessibility to one another and to others that we don't even know, guys, we're constantly can find ourselves trying to keep up. Keep up with you and be grateful for what is, and don't have shame. We all go through things sometimes. We all have setbacks, but those make us, again, like it said in the blog, one of my favorite things that was said or discussed was talking about being able to understand that without the sadness, you would not be able to appreciate the joy. Whereas I watched my dad really not knowing, of course, anytime somebody gets sick, then anybody throws out that nasty word cancer, it's like, so obviously that was scary, but literally like watching him and doctors coming to you, telling you like, prepare for the worst. And just being able to have that feeling, as scary as it was, as awful, as icky, as much as I hated that feeling, watching him pull through that made it all that much better. And it made me so much more grateful, because I was able to feel sadness. I was able to feel fear. I was able to feel all these emotions that we hate feeling. But it made the happiness, for as intense as that was, it made the happiness and the joyous moments that much more intense. Now, I know people say, well, be happy. What if, because if you've had a loss, then it's easy for me to sit here and say, oh, be happy. Yeah, sure, you're happy because you haven't, experienced blah, blah, blah. But if you have the opportunity, then be grateful for what you have. If you don't, but if you can look back and you can think about moments where you were able to learn so much from somebody, then take those, cherish them, and let those be a joy to you. And even if it was something that, again, like I said, because through sadness, we can learn joy. We can still experience joy. Now, it sounds weird, but it can definitely happen, because I've had a lot of traumatic things happen. But just as so many others have, so not to make this a sob story about me, but it's to say that we can take it and we can learn. So it's things that I do with my kids that I try to be more mindful of, or things to protect them. So whatever you do, take things a part of your journey and take what you need, so you can, again, take those building blocks and turn them into something glorious that can make you smile. Every day doesn't have to be a perfect day to be wonderful. We can take what we need, and make our day and our times whatever we want them to be. I was just telling my son this today, because he's 8 and he gets frustrated sometimes when people aren't doing what he wants them to do, per usual. I mean, it's normal for life, but certainly at 8, sometimes you don't see the grand scheme of things. But I told him, like, you can't control other people. We can't even control sometimes the situations around us. But what we can do is control how our outlook is on those things. So I say this as I say that to him, and I say it to myself, I say that to you all too, is to be mindful. Don't even let yourself stand in the way of happiness. If you feel an outlet coming, take it. And then just reflect on whatever you need to reflect on, and keep it moving and walking into that sunny joy. Okay, guys? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you do? What does happiness look like for you? How do you find it? Or let me know in the comments what you think about what I said. I look forward to reading your comments, and I welcome you to the family if you're new. Meet me in the comments, and I will be talking to you guys real soon. You guys have a beautiful night, and continue to have a blessed, great, peaceful, and joyous week, guys. Talk to you guys real soon.